Latest injury report dropped, and a couple of players have been upgraded. So, of course, we've got to talk about it. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. A Hog Media production. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners at Sleeper. If you're not using them for daily fantasy ball, you are missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and they're going to hook you up. Match your first deposit at 100% up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So, of course, it is late night. We are going to go ahead and do the thing that we always do. We are going to talk about injuries. Yes, the latest availability report for Thursday night. We talked about Wednesdays during the live. And, you know, some of the names on there you kind of expected. But the Thursday night one, kind of a little bit of an improvement. Let's take a gander. So it appears that Gentry and Kobe McKenzie have been upgraded. Now, for the uninitiated, Kobe McKenzie hurt his groin at the beginning of the Ole Miss game. He only played I think it was said to play 15 snaps when I looked at it. And so because of that, you didn't have him out there playing the entire game. And so you had a lot of the young bucks, Owen Heineke with the messed up thumb, but he was balling out with the club. Same thing with Samuel Masigo. And so we were wondering if the field journal was going to be able to play in this game. And the way things look, he could show up in this one. It's between him as well as Gentry Williams, who hurt his shoulder. I think it was a couple weeks ago. South Carolina, he fell early, and it appears that he's possibly going to come back. So whenever they show probable, that means that because they both were questionable on Wednesday night, now that they're probable, it makes a lot of sense that there is a very good chance they're going to play in this game. And so I'm liking to seeing that we're seeing this because I have expectations of a few other players to actually transition from being questionable also down to probable. You're going to need Gentry in this game. You're going to need him just to be trailing with his speed. Some of these big speedsters they have. Now, I think Cortland and Eli be fine, but I don't want Eli on Chris Brazzell. I promise you that. Not that 6'5" monster. He's not only fast, but he's pretty strong, and he's a huge guy, so he's really good at high pointing the ball. And Joey Aguilar would definitely take advantage of that. So having Gentry there, who we know has the vertical, same thing with Cortland, you're going to need them. I think I would rather have, honestly, Eli chasing around Staley. I like Mike Matthews to be covered also by a Gentry or Cortland just because of the size factor. And Joey Aguilar puts the bar in some crazy places. So, but like I said, there's a couple more that I'm looking at on that I want to talk about that have a chance of playing. But first, shout out to our partners over there at Sleeper. If you're not checking them out for daily fantasy ball, you are 100% missing out. They got some of the bets, odds, and options, and they're hooking you up. $20 just for signing up. Use our promo code UNFAIR. So I want to make a couple picks here. Beauty thing is that on the college football tip of things, they are giving out some bonuses, but let's look. Actually, I want to go to the Oklahoma game, which is always a pleasure because they take care of us. And now I'm curious to what y'all think about these odds that they're providing. John Mateer here, 239 yards passing is what they're giving. You go less, you get a higher percentage, which means they expect him to go more. Taking him on the more. Deshaun Bishop's definitely going to probably score a touchdown in this game. I'm not going to be ridiculous. Joey Aguilar, 260. So roughly 20 yards more than John Mateer. Why not jump on that one? And I think Deion Burke's a score in this game. Not going to pick Ott because I don't expect him to, but I think Giovanni Gibson gets his first one. You can do the same thing. Check them out. Use our promo code UNFAIR. They're going to hook you up with $100 match on your first deposit up to $100. So 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, and they give you $20 just for signing up. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. I think that when you look at this questionable piece, don't expect to see Javonte Barnes. I do think Taylor Tatum ends up coming to probable. Same thing with Logan Howland. It feels like with Logan, he comes in doubtful and then he goes out. But when he got questionable, he ended up coming out to probable and then off the sheet completely by the end of the week. I think you may see some Logan Howland this week as a rotational piece with Ryan Fogier. Fourier's got a challenge out there. He's a true freshman, him and Fasusi going up against some really good edges. You're going to want to make sure you have some options, and it appears that Logan Howland has been doing better in practice, and he looks like he's a lot healthier. If that's the case, my anticipation is that young man's going to go out there in the field because I think he really does want to play, if we're being honest. He wants to be back out there. I want him back out there, though, because we kind of need him. We could use some additional line play because we need to be able to create some holes and get some running. We've got to run in this game if we want to be successful. If we ain't running in this game, we ain't going to be successful. And so I'm anticipating that. And it's funny because when I see that over there on Sleeper's Daily Picks, it's funny to me to see that you're not seeing that they expect Joe Aguilar to go well over 300 yards. I do. So, I mean, that to me is a free pick. You should take advantage of that just because he's really good at what he does. But the question is what does this Oklahoma team do, especially defensively? Can they bring back the heat that they showed in this Michigan game? Because that, to me, was the best game that they played this season. It just felt like they were dominant. They took the lead early, and then they just continued to maintain that. And so you saw that there. You saw a little bit in Auburn, but I anticipate seeing Logan Howland join that. Now, with the rest of the linemen, Derek Simmons, I think he's probably done until Bama. They're probably going to let him try to get over the concussion and up until then, so it's a couple of more weeks. But I do expect to see the three outs here. Let me put this up again. Troy, Sexton, and Jake Taylor. I think we have them on this sheet because there's a chance that they're going to play sometime this season. That's kind of one of the things I read in there. Was kind of one of the key things is that if you're going to put them, if you plan on them playing sometime this season, you need to make sure that they're listed on the injury reports. That's why we typically have more than others. We're honest. And we don't want to get fined for if one of those dudes do end up getting to the point where they're back and ready to play. So that's just my personal thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. All right. Get ready for this weekend. You know, I fly out to Knoxville tomorrow. If you guys got to be around, please find your boy. I'll be floating. Just look for the locks and the colored, glasses. I'm always easy to find. So if you see me, come holler, at least speak. Love to hear from you. Shout out to our partners over there at Sleeper. Use our promo code UNFAIR. They're going to hook you up with a match at 100% up to $100. Plus, they're just going to give you $20 just for checking them out. And terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. And let's just hope the Sooners show up this weekend. I kind of really need them to do. We'll chop it up soon. Peace.